in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, that is Krishna Prema. I once again welcome all of you to the Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So now we will be moving on to our next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. Before moving to the next session, let me know who are all on the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvindakshi Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the assembled devotees. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and to all the assembled devotees. This is Megha from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Megha Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga and all assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. And your Leelamrita was very wonderful, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, your Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. This is Radha from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radha Pyari Mataji, Her Grace, Radha Pyari Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and congrats on your initiation. Please welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Lovely wishes.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Sri Radha Gopinath ki jai. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and you made so wonderfully Jagannath Prasad. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Padmasaki Devidasi from Florida.
Hare Krishna, Padmasaki Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your services on Bhakti Sangha. So nice kids classes you are taking, so nice arts and craft which you are giving for kids. It's very useful. I even say to Arav, which is my second son, to see on YouTube and do it. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna, please welcome to the call.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandvat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all your services on Bhakti Sangha, and thank you so much for joining the call, and thank you for your Chaitanya Bhagavat class also. It was very wonderful, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, this is Kamal Lochan from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Komudeki Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day and giving your valuable association to us. Please keep joining, Mataji, and give your association. You are such a senior devotee to us, and please bless us all. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita.
Hare Krishna.
Go ahead,
Okay, go ahead, Mataji.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Padma from Virginia, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Padma Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your services, and thank you for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dandot Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Maharaj ki Jai. This is Shyama Gauri Devi Dasi from Shalya.
Hare Krishna, Shyama Gauri Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Many more Dandavats pranams to your lotus feet. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving such a wonderful Bhagavatam class and arranging speakers every day. And thank you for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I offer my humble obeisance to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Is this Ayan, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Ayan Prabhuji. Thank you so much for joining the call. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So we will be moving on to recording to the class. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, my dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. I once again welcome all of you to the Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. Thank you so much for joining the call today morning, which is in USA and different timings in different parts of the world. So this is a very wonderful Bhagavatam class which is going on every day. Who are all watching on the YouTube also, please subscribe and join us on WhatsApp also, so that you will get the updates of the classes every day. And now we will be moving on to the next session, that is Bhagavatam, which will be given by His Grace Kamal Lochan Das from Canto 6, Chapter 1, text 34 to 36. Before going to the class, I would like to hand over the call to His Grace Suresh Sham Prabhuji for giving the brief introduction about His Grace Kamal Lochan Das. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Suresh Sham Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Over to you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Kamal Lochan Prabhuji was born in Mysore in the Madhva Brahmin family. Brought up in Andhra Pradesh in a very orthodox family where he developed a natural taste for inquiry into mysteries of God's creation. Passed out of Marine Engineering Research Institute, Calcutta in 1994. It was there in the college as a cadet. He came in touch with the devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He found that all the unanswered questions were completely satisfied in the books of Srila Prabhupada. Still, as an engineering student, he studied Bhagavad Gita 5 times and mastered the Gaudiya Vaishnava Vedanta philosophy in a short period of 2 years and initiated into the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He joined the Merchant Navy as an engineer officer and worked for 3 years. During this time, he felt the urge to teach the message of Bhagavad Gita to children and youth who are misguided by consumerism. So he gave up his lucrative job and joined ISKCON Mira Road, where he was promoted as Vice President of ISKCON Mira Road within a year and is currently the co-president of ISKCON Mira Road. He is also a visiting professor in MS University for Management and Social Work faculties, and also conducts seminars on personal development topics in educational and corporate sectors. His only concern is that the children and youth should understand the moral and spiritual values as enunciated in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. His life is dedicated to teaching children and youth. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. It's a brief introduction about Prabhuji. Back to you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a brief introduction about His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhuji. I couldn't see Prabhuji on the call. Shall we continue with introduction, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. I called him, but he is not picking up. He saw the message.
Okay. So, devotees, if you would like to introduce, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is please accept my humble obeisances. This is the first time I'm logging to the call. I have been attending the YouTube channels. Thank you so much for organizing the Bhakti Sangha. It's very helpful for new devotees. And this is Charu from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Charu Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining us on the call. And please keep joining. Let us say Haribol to Mataji. She has joined first day today. Haribol. Haribol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Please join. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Anyone else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. This is Mitravinda Mamta Mai Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Mitra Vrinda Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Prabhuji has joined the call, I think. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, to have you on the call. And thank you so much for giving your valuable time and association for us today for the Bhagavatam class. And today we will be having the Bhagavatam of Canto 6, Chapter 1, text 34 to 36. Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtikim. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 1, text 34, 35, and 36. Sarve Padmapala Shaksha Ita Kausheya Vasasaha Kirtinaha Kiritinaha Kundalinaha Lasat Pushkaramalinaha Sarve Cha Nutana Vayasaha Sarve Charu Chaturbuja Danuhu Nisanga Asi Gada Shanka Chakra Ambuja Shriyaha Dishaha Vitimira Alokaha Kurvantaha Svena Tejasa Kim Artham Dharmapalasya Kinkaran Naha Nishadhataha Nishedataha Sarve Padmabala Sakshat Itakausheya Vasasaha Kiritina Kundalino Lasat Pushkaramalinaha Sarve Cha Nutana Vayasaha Sarve Charu Chaturpujaha Tanur Nisanga Sigada Shankachakram Bujasri Shriyaha Disho Vitimira Loka Kurvantaha Svena Tejasa Kimartham Dharmapalasya Kinkaranno Nishedataha. Word to word meaning. Sarve, all of you, Padmapala Saksha, with eyes like the petals of a lotus flower, Pita, yellow, Kausheya, silk, Vasasaha, wearing garments, Kiritinaha, with helmets, Kundalinaha, with earrings, Lasat, glittering, Pushkaramalinaha, with a garland of lotus flowers, Sarve, all of you, cha, also, Nutana Vayasaha, very youthful, Sarve, all of you, Charu, very beautiful, Chatuh Pujaha, with the four arms, Danuhu, bow, Sangaha, giver of arrows, Asi, sword, Gada, club, Shankha, conch shell, Chakra, disc, Ambuja, lotus flower, Shriyaha, decorated with, Dishaha, all directions, Viti, Mira, without dust, Vitimira, without darkness, Alokaha, extraordinary illumination, Kurvantaha, exhibiting, Vena, by your own, Tejasa, effulgence, Kimartham, what is the purpose? Dharmapalasya of Yamaraj, the maintainer of religious principle, Kinkaran, servants, Naha, us, Nishedataha, you are forbidding. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Before, the order carriers of Yamaraj said, your eyes are just like the petals of lotus flowers, dressed in yellow silken garments, decorated with garlands of lotuses, and wearing very attractive helmets on your head and earrings on your ears. You all appear fresh and youthful. Your four long arms are decorated with bows and quivers of arrows, and with swords, clubs, conch shell, discs, and lotus flowers. Your effulgence has dissipated the darkness of this place with extraordinary illumination. Now, sirs, why are you obstructing us? Purport. Before even being introduced to a foreigner, one becomes acquainted with him through his dress, bodily features, and behavior, and can thus understand his position. Therefore, when the Yamadutas saw the Vishnudutas for the first time, they were surprised. They said, by your bodily features, you appear very exalted gentleman, and you have such celestial powers that you have dissipated the darkness of this material world with your own effulgence. Why then should you endeavor to stop us from executing our duty? It will be explained that the Yamadutas, the order carriers of Maharaj, mistakenly considered Jamil sinful. They did not know that although he was sinful throughout his entire life, he was purified by constant chanting the holy names of Narayana. In other words, unless one is a Vaishnava, one cannot understand the activities of a Vaishnava. The dress and bodily features of the residents of Vaikuntha are properly described in these verses. The residents of Vaikuntha, four arms holding various weapons, thus they conspicuously resemble Lord Vishnu. They have the same bodily features as Narayana because they have attained the liberation of Swarupa, but they nevertheless act as servants. All the residents of Vaikuntha know perfectly well that their master is Narayana or Krishna, and that they are all his servants. They are all self-realized souls who are Nitya Muktas, everlasting, liberated. Although they could not conceivably declare themselves Narayana or Vishnu, they never do so. They always remain Krishna conscious and serve the Lord faithfully. Such is the atmosphere of Vaikuntha. Similarly, one who learns the faithful service of Lord Krishna through the Krishna consciousness movement will always remain in Vaikuntha and have nothing to do with the material world. Om Jnanavirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadanti Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Srirupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Vikas Vishakanitam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Saptaganchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So the Yamadutas, they saw the Vishnuduta stopping them and they were surprised and they were shocked. Then they asked them, whose servants are you? Where do you come from? This Kasyava Kutaha Ayataha Kasmadasya Nishiddataha Kim Deva Upadeva. They're confused. Are you demigods? Are you Upadevas or lesser demigods? Yuyam Kim Siddhasattamaha. Are you some Siddhas? That means they were not able to understand who they are by their appearance. But just by their appearance, they could understand that they are not just ordinary people. So appearance is the first introduction to a person. How you look, that is how a person can be understood. Prabhupada said first dress and then address. First impression is the best impression. The first impression is when people look at you. So here the Yamadutas, they are looking at the Vishnudutas and they are describing their features which were transcendental. They were actually saying that how is it possible for you that you are so well behaved? You look so well behaved. Because you're not dressed with improper clothes. You're having good clothes and you look very decent and well behaved. And why are you misbehaving with us by stopping us? You may think that you are in ignorance. Somebody may be well behaved but in ignorance. You are not only well behaved, but you are also having knowledge, because from your body, the effulgence which is coming, the light which is coming, it is destroying the darkness of ignorance of this world. It is not an ordinary light effulgence coming from your body. It is not the lamp of this world which is delivering the darkness, the material darkness. Just by looking at your forms, you understand that your body is transcendental and you are delivering the darkness of ignorance. That means your body is emanating the light of knowledge. That is, your body is spiritual. It is Chit Kana. It is Satchitananda, Chit Kana. It is consciousness. So consciousness is emanating through your body. So you're fully knowledgeable. So if you're fully knowledgeable, why is it that you are acting improperly? Stopping a person who is on the act of dharma. We are the servants of Yamadharma Raja, and the rule has been set by Yamadharma Raja. We are not doing something whimsical. So you stopping us is actually misbehavior. And you are well behaved. How is it that your misbehavior is manifesting by well behaved person? How is it that You are stopping us out of ignorance, and it is coming from a person who is in knowledge. So this was the contradiction which was in the mind of the Yamadutas. A well-behaved person is misbehaving. These four are there, Vishnudutas. So well-behaved persons are misbehaving with us, and well-knowledgeable persons are acting in ignorance of dharma. So this was the ignorance of the Yamadutas. They were not knowing the transcendental position of the Vishnudutas. So this is how this verse talks about the surprise experienced by the Yamadutas. They are speaking these three verses in surprise, in great surprise. While experiencing this great surprise, they are describing the forms of the Vaikuntavasis, the Vishnudutas. The forms of the Vishnudutas are so beautiful that you just cannot stop from describing them. Even though these Vishnudutas acted conversely to what the Yamadutas were supposed to do, and they were thinking they were misbehaving, and they are thinking they were they are acting in ignorance, but still they are so beautiful that they could not stop describing their beauty. They could not stop describing their effulgence. That is nature. That is how this is astonishing. These forms of the four personalities were in front of the Yamadutas. The Yamadutas, even though they were hurt, but they were captivated by the beauty of the Vishnudutas. And they described their beauty with nice, wonderful analogies. Sarve Padmapala Sakshaha. So Sarve, all of you are Padmapala. Padmapalasha. Padma means lotus, and your eyes are like the petals of the lotus. Pita Kaushe Vasasaha. Your garments are yellow in color. Pita Kaushe Vasasaha. And you have Kiritinaha Kundalino. You are nice, wonderful, attractive helmets or crowns and earrings on your ears. And not only that, you have Lasat Pushkaramalinaha. Lasat, very effulgent. Pushkaramalinaha. You have a nice, wonderful garland of lotuses. Nice lotus garland you're wearing. Sarvecha Nutanavayaha. There's no question of any old age in you. You are all looking so fresh, so young. Sarvecha Nutanavayasaha. And Sarve Charu Chaturpujaha. Sarve, all of you have Chaturpujaha. You have long arms. And these arms are decorated with what? Tanuhu, Sangasi, Gadaha, Shankachakram, Puja, Shriyaha. Your long arms are decorated with bows and spears of arrows and swords, clubs, Shanka, conch shell, that is, then chakra and flowers, lotus flower. Shanka Chakrabja Shriyaha. Isho Viti Miralokaha. Viralokaha. What is happening? Viti Miraha, because of your effulgence coming from your body. Svena Tejasa, by the effulgence coming from your body. Viti Miralokaha. And you are destroying the darkness, Timiraha, in this world. Vitimira means destruction or removing the darkness in this world. Kimartham dharma palasya kinkaranno nishittataha. Kimartham, why are you obstructing the servants of Yama? Kinkaranno nishittataha dharma palasya. We are the kinkaras, we are servants of Yama Dharma Raja. And such a well-behaved persons like you, beautiful persons like you, and such a knowledgeable person like you, why are you obstructing us? We are on the path of dharma. We are following the orders of Yamadharma Raja. And you are supposed to support us. And you are acting contrary to your looks, contrary to your effulgence. So that was the surprise or the astonishment they are having. In spite of this astonishment, they are actually astonished by the beauty of the four Vishnudutas. So let us go and then see from Brihad Bhagavatamrita little bit about how Gopakumara describes about the Vaikuntha Loka in the Brihad Bhagavatam. So now there was a question raised by the Brahmana. So the question raised by one Brahmana is that
Prabhuji, you got muted, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, you got muted.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Yeah,
Hare.
Prabhuji got muted.
Yes, Mataji, I don't know. Yes. I don't see Prabhuji on the call, Mataji. Is he there?
Oh, he left the call. Okay. I just stood there for some time. It was muted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe some connection internet problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, he joined.
He joined.
Yeah, he has joined.
I lost connection, so back now. So from the Brihad Bhagavatam,
please go ahead.
It is very nicely described. But the question was asked by one of the Brahmanas. How is it so that in Vaikuntha, if everybody has the form of the Lord, similar to the Lord, if there are monkeys in Vaikuntha and there are different animals in Vaikuntha, what is the reason for it? So Gopakumar, he starts describing. So he says, I'll tell the reason for these varieties of forms in Vaikuntha later, as described by Narada. I'll tell you later. Now, what does not become beautiful for one who is tasting the mellow of Krishna Katha? For one who is actually tasting the mellow of Krishna Katha, there is nothing in this world which is not beautiful, especially the descriptions of the Supreme Lord and the associates of the Lord. Now, Gopakumar further says, the glories of the residents of Vaikuntha is unlimited. Sarve prapanchatitam tesham Vaikuntavasinam. Prapanchatitan tesham. Prapancha atitan. They are not actually belonging to this world. They are beyond this world. These Vaikuntavasis, they are so transcendental that they are really beautiful and wonderful. Because they are prapanchatitan, you cannot actually compare anything in this world to their beauty. But still, what else we can do? Tasya Vaikuntha Lakshasya Tasyatan Nayakasya cha. So the Lord is the Tasya Nayakaha, means those who are the Lord, the Nayak of them, that means the Lord of people in Vaikuntha, the Lord of Vaikuntha. They are transcendental material world. That is why he says, a very interesting point he says, Tani mahatmyam jatani prapanchantara gatir kilaha. How can the mundane logic and the language and examples drawn from this world be suitable to describe them, like we describe, saying that the forms of the Vaikuntavasis, their eyes are like the lotus petals. Lotus, what you experience in this world, we have lotus, we see lotus is a petal. It is a material thing. Drishtantair nopayunjante na shakyante cha bhashitum. Very Gopakumar, he is actually speaking a very interesting point. He says, examples drawn from this world can never adequately be used to describe these glories. Now, what to do? We are very much bound, we are very restricted because our concept is material. And if you want to describe something transcendental, you can only use some material examples. We are bound by that. There are so many forms. There are so many nice hierarchy in the forms of the Lord. So Gopakumar says, no chance. There is no chance of the defect which is existing in Vaikuntha. Kuntaha. Everything is perfect. Then how is it that we are we are comparing the forms of the Vaikuntavasis with material things? Now, Gopakumar, he becomes very much aggrieved. And he feels that I'm offending the Vaikuntavasis for committing an offense by citing mundane examples. He says, he begs forgiveness from Bhagavan. He begs forgiveness because he had described the Vaikuntavasis saying that they are so beautiful, their lotus like face and that and this. So he's begging forgiveness from Krishna. Oh Lord, actually I did a big mistake by comparing you and the Vaikuntavasis with some material things in this world. That is why he uses this word. He says, Tani mahatmyani gyatani prapanchatra gati kilaha. How is it possible, Rere? I did a mistake. I did a mistake of comparing Vaikuntavasis to some material, their forms to be some material with the material examples. Like we have in this verse, the residents of Vaikuntha, their eyes are like lotus petals. Now Gopakumar, he says, no, I did a big mistake by comparing this. He says the glories of Vaikuntha Vasis, Vaikuntha Natha, and also Vaikuntha Natha, they're all beyond the material realm, can never be described by examples drawn from the material world. But what to do? No one can comprehend the glories of Vaikuntha without using material examples. Therefore, to enable this truth to be understandable and to enter the heart of conflict, scholars quote examples, mundane examples. However, in reconciling and adjusting the tattva for the mundane examples, there is the possibility of sometimes modifying in gender and number that which is transcendental to the spiritual world. Actually, all the people, all the items, objects in the spiritual world in Vaikuntha are indescribable. They are beyond words and beyond one's intelligence and mind. Because there is a distinction between matter and spirit. The glories of Vaikuntha cannot be expressed in any language. No one has the power to thoroughly comprehend the reality. So even if one were to make an attempt to describe a little bit of those stories, it would not be possible. So this is a very interesting point Upanishads do, because Avangmana Gochara, the Supreme Lord is abode, the residents of the Supreme Lord in the spiritual abode, they are described as Avangmana Gochara. Vang means words, Mana means mind. They are beyond mind and beyond words. But there is descriptions of the spiritual world, the descriptions of the residents of the spiritual world, the descriptions of Supreme Lord in the Upanishads, in the Vedic literatures. If the Lord is beyond description, why the description is there? If the Lord is beyond our mental conception, then why you have to think? How can you think of the Lord? It's an interesting question. Even the Upanishads, they say this point. It says, that is, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. Yato vacho nivartante. If you describe Krishna, the words come back empty-handed. Nivartante means the words come back. Aprapya, without attaining any destination. Manasa saha. Even if you want to think of the Supreme Lord, the word, the mind, the mental functions, they go very high and come back empty-handed. Then why the descriptions are there? If you cannot describe, why descriptions are there? That is a very interesting question, which the Vedantas have addressed it. So, even to such an extent, there are some kind of philosophers who say, based on these Upanishad statements, aprapya manasa saha, eto vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha. They say that one who describes the Lord doesn't know, because you cannot describe. Since you're describing which is indescribable, that means you don't know. He is indescribable, so you don't know. So one who speaks, don't know. On the other hand, one who doesn't speak, he knows. Even the Upanishads, they support this idea. Yasya matam, amatam, amatam, matam. These are the statements in the Upanishads. Yasya matam, one who thinks, I know Supreme Lord, he doesn't know. One who says, I don't know, he knows. So these statements are very bewildering. If I say, I know, that means you don't know. If you say, I don't know, then you know. So Gopakumar, he goes further. Tatapi, then he uses this interesting words. Tatapi bhavato brahman prapanchantargatasya hi prapancha parivarantar drishti garbhita chetasaha tadrishtantakulenaiva tattat syad bodhitam sukam tateti uchcheta tatkinchit tadagata kasyamatam harihi. However, Gopakumar tells this Brahmana, he says, because you live in this material world, made of 5 elements, and can therefore perceive and envision material objects only. I have utilized example from this material world so that you can easily understand the abode of Vaikuntha. So the descriptions of the Lord, who is undescribable, is described by using material examples, because that is the only hope. There is only hope for it's a compassion. So he says, I have committed an offense to the Supreme Lord, being overwhelmed by compassion for the people in this world. Oh Lord, please forgive me for comparing your eyes to the lotus of this world. Oh Lord, please forgive me for comparing the eyes of your devotees in Vaikuntha, their forms to the people, to the objects in this material world. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. Now, one of the interesting scriptures in the Shiva scriptures is known as Rangaraja Stavaha, Parashara. He, by glorifying the Supreme Lord's greatness, he becomes so humble. He says, Oh Lord, actually, how can I describe you? How can I describe you? Because if I describe you, then I had to compare your body to the objects of this world. To compare your body to the objects of this world, and you are transcendental. Your body is transcendent. So, what I'm doing, actually, I'm so committing an offense. Comparing your body to this objects as material world is like objects as a material world like stool. But I cannot stop myself from describing you, Lord. Though it is an offense, I cannot stop myself from talking about you by describing you. I know you are so compassionate, like a mother. What does a mother do? She is carrying the baby on her lap, and the baby is passing stool in the lap of the mother. The stool is obnoxious. The stool is obnoxious. But the mother doesn't feel it is obnoxious. It is like fragrance. For her, it is fragrance. That the baby's stool is a fragrance for mother. Though it is stool. Malini karoti. Oh Lord. By me describing your glories, people are thinking I am describing your glories. I am thinking I am describing glories, but actually I am passing stool. And actually, Malini Karoti, I am actually making you dirty. Though I am very eloquent speaker, I am making you dirty. But oh Lord, I will make you dirty because I am a baby. Because I cannot stop glorifying you by using these material examples. Because that is what I know. That is what people know. Then he goes on saying that. Though I am actually making your body dirty, O Lord, by my descriptions, you feel it is fragrance because of your compassion. That is how the great acharyas, their writings are so glorious and so wonderful. Their descriptions are beyond even our imagination. While describing, they feel such great humility, thinking that when I describe Lord, actually I'm offending you, but still I cannot stop offending you. And my strength is that I know that you are very compassionate. So though I am making your body dirty by my descriptions, by my audible description, still you see the fragrance in that. So Gopakumar is expressing the same thing, the Parashara Bhatta. It's very interesting points here. Then he says to Parashara Bhatta, sorry, I'm in South India, so I'm just remembering Parashara Bhatta a lot. Just came from Sri Rangam. So he says, here Gopakumar is saying, Sanatana Goswami is actually writing, Tatapi bhavato brahman prapanchantaragasya hi. O Brahman, O Brahmana, you are bhavataha Brahman. You are actually the embodiment of Vedas. You know all the Vedas. You are actually a form of the Vedas. You have read the Vedas by heart. You have by heart the Vedas, but still you reside in this world, which is made of prapancha. And as your awareness is bound by consciousness and conscious objects, your inner vision also is absorbed in these things, conscious and consciousness. Therefore, I have to use some material examples. So he prays to Supreme Lord Hari, says, if I committed any offenses in doing so, may Sri Hari, who is actually offended by my talk, who takes away all the offenses. Hari means one who takes away all the offenses. Please forgive me. Those whose vision and mind are absorbed in conscious and inert object within the mundane realm can never grasp the eternal truth or tattva of transcendent objects. Although you are unqualified and incapable of understanding the reality of Vaikuntha, there is still good reason to say something about it. Though we are unqualified, because we know only matter, nothing else. So how can transcendence be described? It's impossible, but still, by introducing a person's mind to the ultimate existence beyond material domain by using examples from this world, material absorption or illusion Maya is gradually removed from his consciousness. Because these words or these objects of this world have been used to describe the Supreme Lord to some extent, whatever possible. When they hear these things, the mind is filled because they can relate to matter only. Material examples are given for describing transcendence. So when material examples are given to describe transcendence, the consciousness is purified. Now for that, like for example, using the same reasoning, the word chakra vartivat, how the Supreme Lord is like Chakravarti. Chakravarti means the king of this world. So some idea is given. So the descriptions in the scriptures about Vaikuntha, the Supreme Lord is Vaikuntha Vasis, is to give an idea. That's all. What exactly what they are can only be understood by a person who is perceiving it. And it is very difficult to understand also. Because Vaikuntha is beyond this world, beyond our mind intelligence. So for that, Gopakumar further says, he says, Taratamyam cha sarvesham tesham samyam parasparam Taratamyam cha laksheta cha virodastatapi cha. Among the residents of Vaikuntha, there is equality and hierarchy simultaneously. At the same time, there is no irregularity. Taratamyam cha laksheta na virodas tatapi cha. Taratamyam cha sarvesham tesham samyam parasparam. This is a very important sutra by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the Tattva Sutras. Virodham. There is constant what do you say, opposites. There is Taratamya. Taratamya means gradation, hierarchy. And also at the same time, there is equality. How can there be hierarchy? At the same time, there is equality. Viruddha. Viruddha means exactly opposites. Equality and hierarchy both are opposites. But Viruddha Samanyam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says this in Tattva Sutras. Viruddha Samanyam Taspinna Chitram. In the Vaikuntha planets, there is hierarchy. In Vaikuntha Vasis, there are hierarchy. At the same time, there is equality. And in this, tatapi virodna virodaha. That is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Viruddha samanyam taspinna chitram. There is no question of any astonishment in the mutually contradictory qualities. Krishna is very angry, at the same time is very peaceful. Krishna, who feeds the entire world, is hungry. Krishna, by whose even name, fear personified, becomes afraid, is afraid of Yashoda. In the Damodar Lila, 8 kinds of described of contradictions are described. The Lord who feeds the entire world is hungry. The Lord who is just by name is afraid, fear becomes afraid, is afraid of Yashoda. Who is all pervading is bound. Who cannot be caught is caught by Yashoda. Who is always peaceful is angry. Like that, Contradictions are there. That makes it more complex. Taratamya. Now he goes on describing about the Taratamya of this world. Taratamya of Vaikuntha. Taratamyam. Tattva of Vaikuntha, which is extraordinary. The first glory of Vaikuntha is that of this is contradiction. There is contradiction, but contradiction is harmonized. So, although previously Vaikuntha-vasis are described as equal, all powerful, there is hierarchy and inferiority. So they share the same nature, have equal strength, but some of them have revealed great opulence and others reveal less. Since all of them, according to their free will, are capable of maintaining all kinds of opulence, no observable contradiction exists in their hierarchy. Now, going further, Gopakumara, he describes about the Vaikuntha. He says that in Vaikuntha, there is no question of any defect, no envy. First thing is, na matsaradayo doshaha santi kasyapi teshu hi. Na matsaradayo doshaha. There is no question of any doshas like envy. Santi doshaha santi kasyapi teshu hi. Not even a single person, kasyapi, anyone, nobody has it. Gunaha swabhavikaha bhanti nityaha satyaha sahasrasha. What beautiful words is being used in Srimad Bhagavatam. Says that there are so many wonderful qualities. How many? Gunaha swabhavikaha bhanti nityaha satyaha sahasrasha. There are thousands and thousands of good qualities such as friendliness, humility, equal respect. These virtues are eternal and real. They are not artificial. They just don't exist outwardly. Sometimes we have exhibit these qualities outwardly, Dandavat Pranam Prabhu, humility, some kind of respect, but it is not actually swabhavika. But in Golok, in Vaikuntha Vasi, it is very natural. It is very natural. There is no jealousy. It's full of thousands of So now the Brahmana may ask a question. The question may arise, Maya is beginningless. Cannot illusory qualities also be eternal? So then Gopakumar says, all the qualities of residents of Vaikuntha are real, Satya. They are not false or momentary like in the material world. In this way, he talks about the qualities of in Vaikuntha Loka. These qualities mentioned, they are not temporary, they are real, they are natural, they are inborn in them, they are naturally manifest. It is not that sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't have it. Now, we find in Vaikuntha, their husband, wives, their children, the opulence is there. Oh, so much of enjoyment is there. So somebody may ask a question like this. Since the resident of Vaikuntha have extraordinary opulence, how they do not have addiction to the objects of senses? Naturally, if somebody is rich, he is addicted to richness. Now, Gopakumar, he answers this point. He says, Prapanchantargata bhoga para Vishayino yatha bahirdrishtyat tatekhyante hi hitehi mukta chiram trayaha. Although the residents of Vaikuntha eternally appear like the sense enjoyers of this material world, who are eager for mundane pleasure, they are in fact not sense enjoyers. Their feet are worshipped even by the liberated souls who have abundant happiness of the sense enjoyment. So when you hear the descriptions of Vaikuntha, we find the Vaikuntha-vasis are sense enjoyers because they have so much of opulence, that and so their husbands, their wives, their children, and they have got airplanes. Oh, They're all sense enjoyment. You're all telling that you should give sense enjoyment. And then Vaikuntha, the sense enjoyment there. No. Gopakumar answered saying that, no. Why? What is the reason? Simple reason. Just your logic. Just see. Those who have abundant sense enjoyment in this world, that means those who are great sages, great devotees, they worship Vaikuntha Vasis, Nitya Surya. That is why we say in the mantra, which says that Sada Pashyanti Suryaha Didiva Chakshuradatam Vipraso Vibhanyato, which says that Sada Pashyanti Suryaha Vishnu Tat Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Suryaha. The great sages, they are actually worshipping Vaikuntha Vasis, Nitya Suris. So now, Gokumari further says, not just Vaikuntha Vasis, somebody may ask, all of them, they look the same. Four-handed definitely look the same, but they still take different forms. It is not that they all have a similar form. They look as a four-handed, but still they take different forms. That is why, based on which they take different forms. It says, te nirvikararthavantas Sriman praptas tatantave vikarams leelaya chitran prabhu leelanusarinaha. They have reached, somebody may say, going to the spiritual world in Vaikuntha means everything is immutable. Avikara, there is no vikara there. There is no change of form there. But still, in the Vaikuntha, they change the form. There is no transformation because the Lord and the spiritual world, there is no transformation, there is no vikara. Nirvikara Upanishad says that the Lord is nirvikara and the spiritual world is nirvikara, there is no transformation. Then how can the Vaikuntha Vasis have vikara? Vikara means transformation. Yes, they have transformation. Vikaran Leelaya Chitram. Leelaya Chitram. They take different varieties of forms suitable to what? Prabhu Rina Anusarinaha. Somebody is woman there, somebody is a child there, somebody is a man there, somebody is having very ferocious face, somebody is having a smiling face. It all, like you have Vishwakshena, is always very serious, red eyes, and he's pointing finger and going everywhere like a temple commander. There nobody does any mistake, but still there is a temple commander. Surasainyanatham, there is a commander there. So in this way, you have so many different aspects in Vaikuntha. People have different forms according to the Leelaya, Prabhu, Leela Anusarinaha. Then Gopakumar further describes about Vaikuntha. Of course, so many verses are there. I cannot go to all the verses. Just one more verse for today. Then somebody may say, although the residents of Vaikuntha are all equal to one another, they appear in different forms. Similarly, even though the abode of Vaikuntha, its aeroplane and all its other paraphernalia are embodiments of constant one, everything appears in different forms for the sake of the Lord's pastime. Not only just people, even the different paraphernalia. Atas te nyonyam ekatvam gata api pratakvitaha tat sthanam cha vimananagatas tatrayam sarvam idrisham. So in keeping with the Lord's pastimes, although the Vaikuntha residents are identical to one another because of their being embodiment of Satchidananda, still they appear in different forms. The forms they assume their residents, the airplane, and all the objects of Vaikuntha are all homogeneous. That means they're all Ekarupa. At the same time, they're all Satchitananda, they're all Brahman. They appear in different forms just for the sake of what? The pastimes of the Supreme Lord. In this way, Gopakumar continues his description. Sometimes the place appears to be full of gold, sometimes sometimes it appears to be white, sometimes it's like condensed moonlight. So all these varieties of forms of Vaikuntha Vasis and the forms of the different objects in Vaikuntha, they're all condensed form of Chitta, consciousness. Leela according to the Leela, they take different forms. So this is how Bhagavatamrita Gopakumar describes Vaikuntha. He goes on further describing it. I'll not continue, just to give you an idea that where you can understand or get the information about Vaikuntha in a very nice way. I just gave this class so that you can continue reading this section in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita for further information from 2.4.50 onwards. I did till 2.4.49. From 50 onwards, you can go for. Hare Krishna. I stop here. Any questions, please do ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, for such a wonderful class. It was very enlightening, knowing about the Vaikuntha Vasis and the Vaikuntha world. Prabhuji, what is it verse you told in Brihad Bhagavatamrita?
2.4.50 onwards, you can go. I did till 49.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, devotees, any questions? Please go ahead. Yeah, Suresh Shan Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for such a nice, wonderful class. So, Prabhuji, one basic question I have, Prabhu. In the verse, it says, Kinkaran no Nishedata, right? So, but the translation, word to word meaning, it says Naha, right? So, like, how do we understand, Prabhu? This is, I think, something related to Sanskrit grammar, right?
Yeah, Sanskrit grammar. It is Sandhi.
Okay.
There's Sandhi Vicheda, do that, then you can make that happen.
So why they didn't do the Sandhi in the verse, Prabhu? Like, so that we can read it properly, right?
Then Chanda Bhanga will happen. No? When you are reciting the verse, you should recite with Chanda, with Sandhi. Then only the Chanda will be there, the meter. Otherwise, it will become like two alphabets combined become one. Then in a Anushchak Chanda, you can only have 8 alphabets in a one line. So if you do the Sandhi Vicheda, it becomes 9. Maybe you become 10 also if you do the Sandhi Vicheda. That is why we should never do Sandhi Vicheda while reciting the verse. While doing Anvaya, we do the Sandhi Vicheda. Otherwise, Chanda Bhanga will happen. Destruction of Chanda. The beauty will go away. Chanda means beauty. Like those who know Kannada, they know very well. The meaning of the word Chanda means very beautiful. So any words, it sounds very beautiful because there is Chanda. Like to take a example, any verse. Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsava Mamaka Pandavas Chaiva Kimakurvata Panjaya. If you say Mamakaha Pandavas cha eva Kimakurva, then gone. then the tune will go away. You use the word tune, actually it's not the tune. Tune is for a song. The chanda, the meter will go away. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu, for a very nice explanation. Prabhuji, one basic question I have, Prabhu. Like you said, this you spoke about offense. Then about we are describing the Lord. It is like kind of offense. So looks like there are good and bad offenses, Prabhu.
Yeah, good and bad offenses are definitely are there. To give you a small example, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking rest, Govinda was serving him. Then he was massaging the feet of Chaitanya. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just slept. And he woke up, then he saw Govinda was still sitting in the same room on the other side of the room. Then Chaitanya asked, oh, why did you not go and take prasad? Then Govinda told, if I had to go and eat prasad, then I had to cross your legs, which is an offense. So I did not do that. Then Chaitanya told, when I was about to sleep, you were on this side of the leg, and then you crossed this side. Is it not an offense? Then Govinda told, yes, I did an offense for your service. But for my sake, I cannot do offense. For massaging your feet, I had the most convenient place was to sit on this side. So I crossed your leg. I committed an offense so that I can serve you better. But I cannot cross now because the purpose of I crossing will be to go my sense enjoyment. So for my sense enjoyment, for my sake, I will not commit offense. That is a bad offense. But for your pleasure, I can do that.
Yes. Prabhu, one more question, Prabhu. This one, in this purport, it is saying, thus they conspicuously resembled Vishnu. They have same bodily features as Narayan. So now, so both words, Lord Vishnu and Narayana, are being used, Prabhu, in the same two lines. So when we are referring to Narayana, are we referring to the Narayana after the first quadruple expansion, Prabhuji?
Actually, Narayana is direct expansion of Krishna in the center of all Vaikuntha planets. Vishnu is a common term used for everyone. Specifically, when you say Vishnu, it refers to Karanodaksh Vishnu, Garbhodaksh Vishnu, and Shirodaksh Vishnu.
Yes.
But generally, it is used for everyone. Even Krishna is Vishnu, Narayana is Vishnu, Narasimha is Vishnu, everybody is Vishnu. One who cannot be stopped from entering any place that is known, he is known as Vishnu. Vishati, Vishnu, Naha. Who cannot be stopped from entering, that means who is all pervading.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Any other questions, devotees? Please go ahead.
Okay. We stop here. No? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I couldn't see any questions or comments.
Prabhu, one question, Prabhu. Prabhu, here we see the Vishnu Dutas coming, right? Prabhu, like Yamadutas also and Vishnu Dutas also came. So when Yamadutas come, do they take us only to the lower planets, Prabhu, Narkaloka, or they take to the heavenly planets and earthly planet also?
Who, Yamadutas?
Yeah.
Yamadutas, they take you to different places depending on your karma. So Yama sends them. Yes, yes. Yama sends them. Not that some other dutas come and take you to some other planet and all.
They take anywhere between the 14 planetary systems, right, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such a wonderful question, and thank you, Prabhuji, for such a nice answer. I don't see any comments or hand raise. So thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving such your valuable time and association. So I think we can end the call here, Prabhuji.
Yes.
I think Prabhuji has left.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, devotees, let's pay our obeisances. Vanchakalpatrupasya kripasindhubheva jayati Krishna ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, His Kamal Lochan Das ki jai. Thank you so much, devotees, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shamagauri
Nice
Mataji.
discussion.
Hare Krishna. Shamagauri Mataji. Mataji, for you tomorrow Ekadasi.
Yes.
Oh, for us it's today, Mataji. CST is doing today. Okay.
Oh.
For East is
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I saw the update on the group also. Yeah.
I think one Ekadashi is there, which is different between East Coast and West Coast. One or two Ekadashis are like that.
India also tomorrow, Mataji.
Yeah, India is tomorrow.
For
Yeah,
us also
so
tomorrow.
We have tomorrow.
Okay, I'm the one who's celebrating today. Okay, okay. There are so
We are
many
also
years
tomorrow.
today.
I was just thinking,
Yeah,
seeing,
that
I
is
think
why I was
Indulekha
thinking
Mataji
why
posted
Shamagauri
today.
Mataji did not tell me to share the Ekadasi poster. Then I got, I have a,
Yeah, Ekadashi is tomorrow.
for me it is today. Okay, okay. No worries, Mataji. 2 days Ekadasi.
No problem, Mataji. You can
So
share
for
it 2
East
days
Coast, it is
also.
tomorrow. Preeti Vilasni Mataji, it is tomorrow.
Yes.
Yes.
Tomorrow for us. For the
Thank
East
you,
Coast.
Okay. So thank you everyone. Happy Ekadasi, whoever is doing today. Happy advance Ekadasi
Happy
for
Ekadashi,
tomorrow.
Mataji.
Thank you,
Everyone.
Mataji.
Happy